Hi everyone, this is Jacqui. Welcome to my channel. Today I will be talking to you about sunscreens and sun care. As we're getting into the summer and spending more time in the sun and the elements, it's also time to think about how we can take care of our skin better. I've never been that good with wearing sunscreen, especially on my face, because traditionally all the ones that I've come across normally either clogged my pores or made my face greasy, just didn't feel good. But I've always worn sunscreen on my body if I'm going to be out in the sun for more than an hour or two. And I found that actually allows me to tan more evenly and tan better. So for those of you who think that wearing sunscreen won't allow you to tan, that is just not true. You can wear different levels of SPF that will still allow the UV rays to allow you to tan, but still protect your skin. In this video, I will review and show you many types of sunscreens for your face that will make you feel great. Sunscreen that feel like moisturizers, so you can easily incorporate it into your everyday skincare routine, whether you are spending your time out in the elements, doing sports, or just going to the office. Recently, I've also started to wear sunscreen whether I'm outside or going to work when I'm inside all day, mainly because on my way to work I do get sun exposure, and at my lunchtime I do like to take a break out of my office, and so that time outside could also expose me to UV rays. But for those who are just saying, I go to my car park and I drive to work, and then I park in the car park, and then I go to my office, and I don't actually have much exposure to the sun, should I wear sunscreen? In fact, I would suggest yes, you should, because although indoor lights have very low exposures to UV and other wavelengths of light, some of them do emit some UV. Typical fluorescent lamps, including CFLs, which most consumers encounter, would emit very low levels of UV. And although that doesn't really damage you like direct sun does, I would still say why not wear sunscreen, because over time and over the 8 hours or even 9 hours of work that you're there, you're being exposed. And yeah, that's my reason for wearing sunscreen all the time. For those who are not familiar with the different types of sunscreen, I'll explain in very simple terms to you. There's two types. The first type is called a physical sunblock, and the second type is called a chemical sunscreen. And physical sunblocks tend to be less irritating, and so it's better for people with sensitive skin. They tend to be also a bit more moisturizing, which can feel heavy on the skin. They can also be difficult to blend onto the skin, but newer brands now offer matte and tinted versions that have less of a white cast. So this type of physical sunscreen may be the ones that we mostly associate ourselves with. These are the type of sunscreen that's like white and thick and takes a long time to actually work through the body, and it almost always leave a white cast. But the technology in the formulations are getting better now, where physical sunscreen don't necessarily actually leave a white kind of ghostly cast on your skin. Now, the other kind of sunscreen is called a chemical sunscreen, and these tend to be lighter, and they don't leave a white cast, and they generally come in more water resistant and sweat resistant formulations. So these are great if you are outside swimming and need that water resistance, or if you play a sport, or if you sweat a lot, the chemical sunscreen might be a better option for you. And of course, because of its lightness, you might choose a chemical sunscreen if you want a sunscreen that absorbs quickly into the skin and just blends. And this might be the more common ones for you to wear on your face, especially for ladies who want to wear a sunscreen on their base before they apply their makeup. The two different types of sunscreen, the chemical sunscreen and the physical sunblock, they work in different ways to actually block UV rays from your skin. So the chemical sunscreen will absorb into your skin, and then that chemical sunscreen actually absorbs the UV rays, then converts the rays into a heat and releases it from the body. So, and unlike a physical sunblock, it sits on top of the screen and then it reflects the UV lights that come onto the screen, onto your skin. So that's how they work differently. Is there a better type of sunscreen, the chemical sunscreen versus the physical sunscreen? Not really. The main function is to protect your skin from direct UV exposure, and both do them equally well. It's just a matter of the types of attributes that I've explained earlier that may be better for different people with different skin and different activity or purposes. In terms of physical sunscreen, because they are the ones that are thicker and they sit on top of the screen to reflect the sun's ray, they're usually made of mineral content that does this function. And the two ingredients that I want to introduce you to is zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. And these are two ingredients that if you're looking, through an ingredients list on a bottle of sunscreen, you can tell just off the ingredient list that this is the type of sunscreen, whether this is a physical sunblock because it contains either zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. And the benefits of, particularly with zinc oxide, is shown to also help with blue light. So it would be a good choice if you're looking for a sunscreen to go to work with, because obviously when you're dealing with screens all day, they emit blue light, and that also causes aging effects for your skin. And for chemical sunscreen, remember these are the ones that are usually more water resistant and sweat resistant and absorbs more quickly into the skin. So the ingredients that are mostly associated with a chemical sunscreen, there are 3, but for the purpose of this video, I'm only going to tell you the one that is recommended, and that's avobenzone. Is the only ingredient that is an okay chemical sunscreen. That's because the other 2 ingredients that falls under the chemical sunscreen are actually bad for the skin in terms of studies have shown that it causes skin allergies, and it's also bad for the environment because it causes coral depletion. So in a nutshell, if you're looking for a mineral sunscreen, zinc oxide is good, titanium dioxide is good, and if you're looking for chemical sunscreen, look for the ingredient avobenzone. Right to my first review. This is the Biore brand, which is very commonly found in all the pharmacies and Mannings and Watsons in Hong Kong. Very common brand, and I'm sure everywhere in the world, everybody's heard of Biore. This brand was my intro to face sunscreen that wasn't the white cast kind that we associate with going to the beach. It's a bit dried out now, but the sunscreen kind of squeezes out to a kind of like a yellowish hue, and then it blends out to a very clear and light color. So it has no white cast because this is a chemical sunscreen. However, there's a very light fragrance that's associated with common cosmetic brands, very light and happy color, happy scent. But this sunscreen does contain alcohol, so for those who might be sensitive I wouldn't recommend this one. But this one actually, when I first found it, I was like, wow, finally a sunscreen that doesn't make my skin greasy, that doesn't make it clog, and that doesn't leave a white cast. This was the brand that I've been using all throughout my high school uni days. But I've thus found better ones for myself in the recent years. for myself in the recent years. The next one that I've been using for a little bit less long than the Biore one is this one I just picked up randomly from my local Mannings. It's a Korean brand, and it's advertised as a tone up sunscreen, which means it does have some color correcting slash BB, coverage. What I love about this is it comes in a little pump bottle, so it does feel very clean. And what happens is it comes out and it's kind of like a salmon skin tone. To be fair, Korean skincare has always generally been formulated for lighter skin girls, so I knew off the bat, like even when I picked this up, I knew the color wasn't going to be right, but I bought it because of the sunscreen. I needed a sunscreen and I wanted to try a new one. But this one has a very pinkish tone, and the pink color in color correcting for makeup is usually used for balancing the blue or dull skin tones. So it could be good if your skin tends to look a little bit on the dull side. You can use a salmon color to brighten up your complexion. And this one blends. The texture is a lot thicker than the Biore one. It doesn't have the alcohol content, so naturally it would be more thick. But this one does leave a white cast on my skin. So unfortunately, this one wasn't great for me in terms of coverage. If I wanted to wear it to work or under makeup, but it was great for just normal sports activities. So a fun fact, the main sunscreen ingredient in this sunscreen is zinc oxide, which is a mineral sunscreen. So it does check out that it leaves a white cast and is thicker than normal. The smell of this smells like a little bit of your traditional sunscreen, which has that little kind of chemically glue-like smell, so it does leave a white cast, you can see. The other thing about this, I don't know why, I think it might be the type of sunscreen that it has. It tends to make my face a bit dry, and after it blends in, it sits on me and it feels kind of like a powder. So it's not sticky. It almost feels a bit dry after I apply and after it blends in. Next one is one of my favorite ones I've been using for the last months. It is the COSRX Aloe Soothing Cream in SPF 50. And the main ingredient is a titanium dioxide, which is also a mineral sunscreen. However, it does not leave a white cast. It is formulated with 5,500 ppm of aloe leaf extract, so this is extra soothing. The main ingredient has glycerin, which is a high humectant, and this one I just love. When I first used it, it just blends like a moisturizer. It's super soothing, and it smells like a very fresh, healthy smell. It just smells really good for you, and it feels like a moisturizer. And I'm buying this for all my friends and my mom and my sister, and it's definitely something that I think I will always go back to, just because it's so lovely. Like, it doesn't irritate my skin like like a lot of other sunscreens do. Like, they kind of tend to clog my pore or make it greasy and make it red over the day. And the alcohol doesn't irritate me that much, but it doesn't feel, the texture of this one, say, feels quite tacky after it dries. But this one just really feels like a moisturizer, so it's really great to use for every day, for using under your makeup. I love it. The next one I'm reviewing is the Missha All Round Safe Block Essence. So this is my first time trying an essence type sunblock, and the thing about this one is it does say lightweight, it does say water resistant and sweat resistant. It is a chemical sunscreen. The key ingredients is basically skincare. So it's got you know, like rosebud extract, aloe leaf juice, licorice root extract. So all these ingredients are antioxidant, skin brightening, soothing, and then plus your sunscreen. And how this one goes on white, and it blends like a very light lotion. It's got a slight oiliness to it, but not in a way that feels like it would clog your pores. It feels very nourishing, and I love the smell. It smells like just like a really happy skincare product. And this one I like in terms of the immediate texture. It feels lighter than your COSRX, but somehow the COSRX feels a bit more calming for me anyway. And I don't know if it's because of the water resistant and sweat resistant aspect of this sunscreen, but after a week of using it, I did grow some zits where I don't normally have them. So this is something I have to try a little bit longer to figure out if I actually like it or not, or if my skin likes it or not. But for the purpose of this review, I do love it. I love the texture. I love that it's got a lot of like skincare ingredients on it, so it's great for everyday use. So the last one I want to review is something that I didn't think I would add in this video, but it's a sunscreen that I've had for a long time. It's lasted me so long because I don't actually use it that often, but I have it all the time with me in my bag just because of its portability. And I use this, I have it in my bag just as a emergency for those days where I didn't put on sunscreen, I didn't think it was going to be sunny, I didn't think I would be out, or if I just needed a little bit of a top up as an emergency if I was out and exposed to the elements. So the smell of this reminds me of the banana boat one, just reminds me of summer, but this one is the smell is very distinct to SunBum. It's a banana scent. So how this works is I would just apply, or I would just apply directly to my cheeks or, you know, my forehead where it's most exposed. It is a bit tacky, so I do use my fingers to spread it around a little bit. It works, it rolls on and also feels like a glue stick. So unfortunately this is not something that I like on my skin a lot, but it is there always for me when I'm in a bit of a sticky situation where I need a bit of a top up. So with my newfound passion in sun protection and sunscreen and sun skincare, I will be reviewing and trying out more sunscreens this summer. The next one that I'll be trying is this Snail UV sunblock by this Korean brand Jigott. I've recently gotten into this whole snail skincare thing where I've basically found it to be a really good ingredient for moisture but also for calming, which is not what I would think because it's an animal product, but it is very good, has been very good for my skin as a skincare product. So when I found this, I was like, why not try it? To incorporate, you know, all of these skincare ingredients into sunscreen that I can wear every day. So I will be trying this next and reviewing this next. So stay tuned for the new video. If you have any of your favorite sunscreens that I haven't covered today, please share them. Write them in the box below. I would love to know about it. I would love to try it. And for those of you who have a sunscreen that they've just heard about or want to try but is unsure of, and you want me to review it, do also let me know in the box below, and maybe it'll be the next one I'll review after I try this snail UV one. Thank you for staying with me until the end of the video. Remember, protect your skin. Skincare and anti-aging starts with prevention. Bye.